Well, I love convention season because it's so much weirdness, it's so much activity, everything is moving. It's like being on the streets of New York during the daytime. It's just moving, rushing, and then all our favorite stuff just nested in one spot.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into cons. I didn't go into cons until I met you guys. But just being in a space where people want to, or they have it's almost like a purpose. Like they are there for a specific reason for their thing. Mm-hmm. And it's okay that they're there for their thing. And if you don't know their thing, that's okay too. Mm-hmm. Like you can either get to learn their thing or you go there for your thing.
I always found it's like a microcosm of acceptance where pretty much nobody judge what you're into. And,
most of the time.
Well, if they judge silently. Because I remember the very first convention I ever went to was AWA. And then the very first time I went to it was me and my homeboys, and we walked in, and I was
Atlanta weekend,
Anime Weekend Atlanta. Okay. That's in Atlanta normally around the end of September. And we come in, and I'm seeing all these costumes, I'm seeing all these people, and stuff that was obscure in my neighborhood that a lot of people weren't into. I was finally surrounded around people, who was kind of into the same stuff, and I was like, this is home for me. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, I was like, okay, let me find more conventions. And then, let me find another one. Oh, this shit is expensive, but I love it. But then, of course, there's some drawbacks into conventions, like the smell. I never discovered odors, older, like
an O-D-O-U-R-E.
Exactly, with the accent over the U.
Oh, we trying to make that shit fancy. Exactly. Motherfuckers stank.
Like I understood true stank, and the way I understood it, because this was my first convention, and I ran into somebody. We were in a dealer's room, and I was sitting there talking because I was wearing a Dragon Ball shirt or something, and then we were sitting there talking back and forth, and all of a sudden, how the smell creeps. But you don't want to turn and address it. Mm-hmm. And then I'm sitting there talking to her. I was like, yeah, man. First time Goku turned Super Saiyan, I felt, and I was like, somebody keep walking around me with a whole, like they were carrying a whole backpack of ass. And I was like, what is going on? And then I realized it was coming from him. And then I was like, okay, I got to end this conversation.
That's cute, but you've never known terrible smells until you go to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
I heard rumors of a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
Well, those rumors, all of it is real.
All of it. You got to do it like Han Solo, if true. All of it.
I've never experienced a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, but I've heard some things. What things have you guys seen? Because you guys have, of course, been to was it like a convention/tournament?
Yeah. Well, back in Yu-Gi-Oh's heyday, when you would go to the tournaments, I don't know how they are now, but I know they used to be real big. So they were kind of like conventions. You know how the game room is at MomoCon?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's all Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
So it's like a mini convention, so to speak. But the smell, this is how bad the smell is at Yu-Gi-Oh. Here are the two examples I have to tell you. So the one is the most recent. Apparently recently they made it. You know how Magic has ban lists and how there are official rules and stuff like that. Yu-Gi-Oh has official rules too. Well, apparently now they have made washing your ass an official rule in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
You have to bathe.
Yeah, but that shit that people put on swimming pools.
Exactly.
You can't enter the swimming pool or jacuzzi until you wash your nuts. You telling me grown people need to be told?
Yes. So another story that I have to tell you. Around the end of me and Christian's Yu-Gi-Oh tenor, it was still going kind of strong, but then we started working for where we work at now. And the hotel we used to work at, they started doing Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. So about a couple of years in, they were so used to it to the fact where whenever a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament would come up, they would have to have planning meetings and sessions and shit because the smell is so bad. The smell would get so bad. So here's the thing. Whenever hotels have conventions and stuff, dependent or any type of event, if it's a big thing that may change the feel of the hotel, sometimes they have to call in people to do certain things.
And they have to block out. Like, y'all don't understand, like, whenever you guys go to your little conventions and cons and whatnot, like, a lot of people are displaced just in these hotels just to make sure that y'all have a good time.
And to the point where, like, if you're trying to go to if you're trying to stay at a hotel the weekend they have a convention or something like that, you probably won't be able to get a room, not because they're full up, because they may have some rooms left, but probably because they that the organization that's holding the convention has bought the hotel out. Because if you were to go there, and when we're done with the Yu-Gi-Oh story, I'll tell you a prime example because it's actually apt. If you were to go there, you would be displaced. So before I get into the example of that, let me get to Yu-Gi-Oh. So that hotel, they would only ever have to have the carpets cleaned on 2 occasions after events. One of them is they would hold a dog show. They would have dog shows. That's understandable. The other time is after Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
You know how bad that is?
That I would be fucking embarrassed if I went to an event where I knew that they had to clean the carpet because all of us smelled that bad after the event.
These are grown ass people too.
Grown ass people.
And you know what? This is a shaming thing. You're walking out of the house. Wash your ass.
Yeah.
But you know,
we've done a lot. We've addressed this over the years. We have a bunch of videos about con etiquette. Probably, I don't know if we need to make a new one for the new
we
year.
we have another one coming up that I want to shoot before Dragon Con. But
we have a series of con etiquette videos that are we do a hilarious commentary on what people need to do for to have a good time at cons. As far as being a good person, and also,
like, for example, maybe that girl didn't want you to touch her breasts.
People don't know how to keep their hands to themselves.
All right,
but with Dragon Con coming up, and you know that's my holiday. That's my Christmas. Mm-hmm. It makes me reflect on some of the horror stories of places that I've been, especially because mostly when I go around cons, that's when you have con friends that come too, and you start seeing some weird stuff, like people having sex in the elevator, and motherfuckers jumping and breaking elevators, so now you stuck on it, and now like the dumb games people play is grown ass people. So we was on the elevator, and we get on there, it's packed, it's hot, somebody smells like ass. And this dude's like, hey, I'm just gonna jump so I can break the elevator. And we was like, yo, chill the fuck out. Won't you wait till we get off and you can do whatever dumb shit you want. And he jumps and we kind of get stuck for a second. And we proceeded, I was like, yo, what happened? I looked over to the homeboy, I was like, what happened? He punched you. All right, cool. Everybody, what happened? What do you mean? I want y'all to say he punched me. I was like, okay, cool. And I punched him in the stomach. So that way, if he tried to run off and say I assaulted him, everybody in the elevator said that he punched me first.
Cool. Let's switch gears just a little bit. Let's talk about a horror story. And I feel like it's time that we finally tell the story. We've been to, so last podcast we did, we talked about what San Diego Comic-Con had to offer. What we left out was Ken and I actually went to San Diego Comic-Con a few years ago.
Hold on, let me speak on this.
I want to set it up just a little bit. So we won't tell you not to go to any con. That's up to you.
No, fuck San Diego Comic-Con. I'll tell you that from the deepest part of my ass. Look. It
was a series of unfortunate events.
Before we even got there, shit was fucked up. Okay, check this out.
This was the year that Southwest had the blackout in their power system.
I never check my bags. I'm making a point of contention to never fucking check my bags. This year, I decided to check my bags. Southwest implodes. My luggage, which the plane didn't even take off, but somehow my luggage was magically in California.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was somewhere.
It was somewhere. And I was like, all right, cool. And then the dude, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
It just thinking back on him because I was about to whoop his ass. And he was looking at me. He was like, I was like, so where's my luggage? And like I had like the Ice Cube thing going, and I was holding some varsity, so he know I didn't give a fuck. And then I was like, "Where the fuck is my luggage?" He's like, "Sir, there's nothing I can do." I was like, "Speak up."
Like, at the end of the day, be nice to the people who are at those counters and stuff, because it's out of their hands.
In that
they can
moment-
only do so much.
In that moment,
But-
he was the closest person I could hit, so he was about to get it.
So we decided, you know what? We going to San Diego. We already bought our stuff. We got to get there. So we went to go buy some Delta tickets. So we had to spend more money. We ended up making it to San Diego around 11 o'clock p.m. I would say. Yeah. We get there.
I will not even go, man.
Hey, we getting there, man.
No, we got there Thursday because we're gonna be there from Thursday to Sunday. So it was like, whatever. We'll pay this $400 ticket and get on this goddamn plane.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
It was San Diego Comic-Con. This is the place
This
you gotta
is nerd mecca from what we heard.
Yeah.
We had to make this pilgrimage.
Yeah. So we got there. His luggage still didn't show up. We checked with the airport just to make sure luggage still wasn't there, but they did give him an ETA, which was sometime the next day.
Meanwhile,
How did your luggage leave before you? So basically, they was expecting you to spend your entire Friday waiting on some shit that may not.
I'm walking around looking like Slouchy the Bum because I don't travel in my best. I normally travel in some shorts and maybe a hoodie that says
Because when you go out of town, you gonna show out when you get there in your new clothes.
Exactly. I normally wear shorts and a t-shirt that says it leans to the right.
Yeah. So we get there. We're there Friday, right? We're his luggage won't arrive until sometimes 6 or 8 p.m. or whatever. So we're bumming it out at San Diego Comic-Con that Friday. This is the day that we waited in line forever. Not for some like big Hall H.
Not
stuff.
for Hall H.
We
No.
just waited in a 3-hour line
To get to the Rick and Morty panel.
Yeah. Rick and Morty.
We were standing outside in the heat. And first of all, this man ain't shit.
I'm not.
Said ain't shit. Like, how long have I known you? Since college.
Yeah.
We was outside in the heat. You know how hot it gets in California? Very. It gets very hot. Damn, the heat was on slave.
He also had a Meeseeks costume on.
I was wearing a helmet. And I had to take the helmet
So
off.
I assume you got your shit back by then.
No. I took the helmet as a carry-on because I wouldn't leave without my Meeseeks helmet.
Yeah.
So you prioritize in hand over the shit you need to.
Because if you put that in luggage,
It's gonna get tore up.
It's gonna get messed up.
So we're standing in line. I'm sitting there drowning in my own sweat in this helmet. And all of a sudden, I'm like, Joe, I'm hungry. I need to go get some to eat. Said you want something. He said, nah, I'm good. I walk out, scouring for food, come back, this motherfucker eating chips. He puts his bag down. He's like, oh yeah, I got some more shit in here. I look, it is a quickie mark in his bag. So we finally get up in the motherfucker. We don't miss
Rick and
Morty.
Morty. We missed pretty much all of the Cartoon Network FX stuff they had. We made it in at the tail end of the Archer panel, which was still hilarious, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to have seen the whole panel.
H. John Benjamin.
And Aisha Taylor, all of them, they were hilarious for the 10 minutes that we saw them.
So apparently this is what happens. When you go into Comic-Con, they don't clear the rooms. So
Yeah.
people sit there and camp out all fucking day.
So like when the panel was over, people would literally just sit there until the next celebrities come in for the next panel.
Ironically, that's what California is like all over.
Exactly.
Camping out.
So that's why we were standing in line for 3 hours, because people were not leaving the panels.
And we finally bust up in the upper room. And we sitting down there. Who did we see? Did we see the CW that day?
You said the upper room? Which was this?
No, this was the same. I just called the room the upper room because we finally got up in that piece.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
This is the same day?
Yeah, we saw all the Arrow and stuff, and this is before they was sucking, so it was okay. This is where we cared about Flash and Arrow, and we finally saw them, and we were able to go. Then that's when we hooked up with our boy Clark, who we found out had a disability pass, and then we were rolling like G's.
Yeah, second day we learned our lesson. First of all, we picked up his luggage that night, first of all, so we were cool. We were staying in a motel, and unfortunately, this man slept on the hardest floor.
I paid to sleep on a goddamn floor. Hold on, wait a second. Look, You gotta feel me on this.
So
for the motel.
I don't want to talk about it.
So our friends were supposed to bring sleeping bags because they were driving and meeting us there. They forgot the sleeping bags, so we just took some blankets off.
Friend?
We can't say.
There were some people that we traveled with.
Well, you know.
Their name.
So anyway, we take some blankets. We take some blankets, give it to them.
They didn't give me some blankets. They gave me one. Now I paid money to be in this thing when some people did. And I had to sleep on it hard. When I say hard,
I don't know what this floor was made out of.
it was made out of antimanium. But crooked antimanium. The floor had no give.
None. Like you can jump on it, like there would be no
bounce whatsoever. There was no carpet so I could feel warmth. I literally slept on my fucking luggage. And I was the most miserable part. And the worst part was the last night when I had the fucking runs.
We're getting there. So the next day, like you said, we found out that our room guest had a disability. So he had a disability pass. And apparently the lines are shorter when you got the disability thing.
So we all had disabilities that day.
No, not necessarily we had disabilities. The disability person can have people, accompanying them. So we were our friends' cousins. And we
became family that day.
Yeah, we became family. So we got to the disability lines, which were shorter than the regular participant lines, not by that much. Because remember, this is San Diego Comic-Con, the place you gotta be. Everybody is there.
If you go outside, if you went outside before you got there, it was campsites, it was people on boats waiting in line.
They were waiting for Hall H.
But when I say the line was miles, literal fucking miles of people waiting in line to get tickets to get inside this bitch.
There were literal tents, sleeping bags, chairs, all of that. Like if you were thinking about a campsite or people going to go stay in a park overnight or whatever, this is what it looked like.
And the thing is, some people had got there Tuesday.
Yeah.
Before the thing even kicked off. So you waiting in the line Tuesday, from Tuesday to Saturday, just to get in Hall H.
Just to see Warner Brothers and Disney and
Warner Brothers and Disney, and they about to release that shit literally as soon as they announce it.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
So we haven't even got to Hall H yet. So that Saturday, this is when all the good panels happen. So the Arrow and the Flash and all the CW stuff and the superhero stuff. So we made sure, these are smaller than Hall H, but it was still pretty packed. So we managed to get in there, but my man, I don't know what you ate.
So so I have a thing that when I go to the West Coast, I always get the runs at one point. So I was sitting there.
Maybe you should just not go west.
I think I'm allergic to the bullshit. So I got up, so I was like, man, I had to keep getting passes to go to the bathroom because I had to keep boo-booing. I couldn't even enjoy In-N-Out Burger because later that night we went to In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out.
So In-N-Out Burger was actually good, but he ate something at the convention center, I think.
I don't know what it was, but like we went to In-N-Out Burger. I took a bite of my burger and I spent like a couple minutes in the bathroom. I was like, I can't stop shitting.
But he couldn't even see the panel. I saw the Arrow panel, I saw the Flash panel, I saw Supergirl panel.
I can describe the inside of the bathroom.
He would not sit still.
Because he was like, yo, kid, you cool? I was like, nah, I can keep doing it.
So like, I'll give you all the details when you get back, when you finally cool. He never got cool for the rest of that day.
Comic-Con ended at 7 every night.
Yeah, it was weird. So for people...
And Dragon Con is 24 hours.
Yeah.
Comic-Con ends at 7 p.m.
Like, there's nothing to do after 7 p.m.
No, nothing. Like you could go to a bar where a party was, which there was a secret party that nobody was supposed to know about. Man, we got the inside tip for it. How about we go to where the party is and there's a line of people outside the fucking party and people screaming, hey, is the password such as spaghetti? I was like, how the fuck does everybody know this?
And it ended up being full, line too long, whatever, we left. We never even saw the inside of that party.
Fuck Comic-Con with a big hot poker. I will never go again. Actually, you know what? I will go one more time. But I'm going in a wheelchair and crutches.
I don't know if that's going to make the experience better. But yeah, my take from being non-disposed at San Diego Comic-Con, I didn't understand the hype. Like you said, when stuff got released at the panels, it was on internet like 10 minutes later.
As a matter of fact, you could pull it up on your phone as soon as it got released.
Yeah.
And we were in San Diego. I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, like we tried to do the Hall H thing on a wing and a prayer because we were able to do the disability line thing, but that thing was just as long. Not as long as the regular campsite line, but there was no way we were getting in through the disability line. Like it was just that many people out there, and I don't know what they enjoyed out there. It's really hard for me to say.
It's to my understanding, and because I've heard about Comic-Con for years, like the structure and how that thing is just put together has been all over the place, and they refuse to get right as far as, first of all, mile-long lines for that one panel. Just
they know the room is full up, so there shouldn't even be a line.
And mind you, they oversell too. So there's a capacity that the convention hall can only handle, and they oversell like by 2 to 3 times every year.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I was inside the hall and I'm listening to people come up to the podium and telling where they are, like it's people from all over the fucking world coming to this thing. You think if I'm coming from Brazil to fucking San Diego and I can't get into the panel that I want, get the fuck out of here. I will burn that bitch to the ground.
Yeah. So that was our San Diego Comic-Con story. We had a good time as far as hanging out with people that we met down there, doing random things like going off to the side to play Magic the Gathering or meeting up with some people to go eat at a restaurant away from San Diego Comic-Con.
When I wasn't in the bathroom, do away.
Good people makes it a good time. That's what makes your con experience.
Okay.
But yeah, the con also needs something to offer. But yeah. All right, so let's juxtapose that crappy experience with the awesomeness that is Dragon Con, which is in Atlanta. Labor Day weekend. It starts that Wednesday before Labor Day for most people.
Now it starts Tuesday.
I think Dragon Con is gonna eat like August. Like it's kind of weird.
I don't care. Like that is my fucking Christmas.
All right, you're the Dragon Con veteran. Why should people go to Dragon Con?
First of all, it's a party for adults. All the kids go home by 7 or 8 o'clock, and it's literally a nerd party, and nobody party as hard as nerds. Do you know how hard? Like, it's like when one of the best description I ever heard was like this person when we went to the parade. They were like, it's like coming home to family. You come to this thing. Like you know how we sit here and we throw references out and then we all catch it because we know each other.
Like
now,
315?
Like 315. And now imagine throwing a reference out and the entire fucking convention knows what you're talking about. It's like some cheer shit where everybody knows your name. Like all the bullshit of the world, except that asshole who likes to stand outside shaking his sign that says God hates the gays or whatever, or the dudes I like cosplay leads to corruption and hell. That asshole. But outside of that, you leave your shit away from the convention. You come there, it's 24/7. There's a party every night. There are room parties every night. I walk around with no pants on, for God's sake, and nobody bats an eye. I walked to my hotel with one shoe on and one sock. I still don't know what the fuck happened, and I don't do drugs or drink.
Yeah.
That was a good fucking night.
You think?
That's sure. Sure. Some chick rubbed something on the back of my neck and I saw flowers. But
Wait, what?
like I said, Dragon Con is like the epicenter. It's like, yeah, if you like panels, there's panels. If you like games, there's games. If you like
there's werewolf.
There's magic. If you want to see somebody jacking off into a tuba, you might see it.
Like you said,
and that's a cosplay. That's a cosplay.
Yeah, like you said, there's room parties. There's Star Wars. What is that? What is that called? Last party.
The last party on Alderaan?
Yeah.
Oh my God. The party that starts at 10 and ends at 3. Star Wars themed party that breaks the fucking house. Like, we have seen so much crazy shit at Dragon Con. Like, what are some of the shit y'all done seen?
I've seen so much that I can't even really specifically
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah, like, would it be fucked up if I said all the scattered ass out there?
So much scattered ass. You know what it is? People respect it, and they just look at the scattered ass.
Some people respect
Some people
it.
respect it, and it look but don't touch.
I've literally had to walk around and shadow a creepy pedophile because I knew that because I strongly suspected him of activity. So I just walked around and followed him and looked menacing until he went away because these were girls that I didn't know, but he was doing it in my vicinity and my spirit was off. And I was like,
yeah, y'all.
let me just suss out this situation. And these girls were clearly underage, and he was asking to take pictures of them very creepily. And I was just walking to the shop like, nah. And then later he would find another underage girl.
You were Detective Stabler.
That was my cosplay.
That was your inner special victims unit. It's like, I smell the rapist on you.
You know how you just be around and your Law and Order system go off and this is like dun dun. Like what?
But that's one thing. Like,
celebrities everywhere.
Oh yeah,
celebrities.
Y'all assholes left us and 5 minutes later, y'all run into Steve in the mail and shit. And he bros it out with y'all. Oh, I went to the onesie party and the Black Ranger was there just chilling. And then
Specify which one. These
The
people have names.
Black Ranger.
the original Black Ranger,
Walter Jones, he has a name. He has a legend, he has a name.
the Pop Locker, the one that was
the first.
exactly sure.
Yeah.
So I know this is off topic, but when we were at Tell Me the Cocktail this year, Breaking Bad was there making
Bryan
drinks.
Cranston was there throwing them cocktails.
Okay. In New Orleans, right?
Yeah, and Jesse.
From Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are both coming together. They're collaborating on coming out with a new mezcal.
Okay.
That's why they was there.
And that's the thing, like, cons run the gamut. Like, all the nerd cons are cool and everything, and then you have, like, conventions like Tell Me the Cocktail, which you know, me and him go to a lot. And you'll see stuff like that. Complete opposite vibe as far as the party scene is concerned, because I think folks be trying to be a little conservative at Tell Me the Cocktail until you hit Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street's pretty much Gomorrah.
Yeah.
No, actually, you know what?
So if Bourbon Street is Gomorrah, since we're talking about conventions, let me tell you about Sodom. So at the hotel that I work at, there's a convention that came through called the
Leatherfest?
the Southeast Leatherfest.
Okay, let me speak on this. All right.
Wait a minute. Southeast Leather Self?
Yes, that's what it's called.
I'm gonna speak on this. Speaking of conventions, I've been to one of those conventions before. There was a girl that I know. She wanted to go, and she was like, "Hey, I want to go to this thing, but I'm afraid." And I was like, "I got $50 in free time. Let's go." So
You did the right thing.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna let." I whenever I go to conventions, I got friends that go, and especially when they're women, I like the girls that I know, the women that I know. I always watch their back because they my friends. And whenever I go to convention, like most of the time, they dress like how they want to dress, which is free and exposed. And just in case people like get out of pocket, me and some other people just show them the way.
And I'll say this at convention, because even though I never officially went to Self, I just worked while it was going on. We were talking about, consent at Dragon Con. Those type of conventions like Self is where you are gonna find people who are the most
Yeah, they have the rules and regulations.
Exactly.
Down. They communicate what they want and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But those conventions, especially, I think they refer to them as fetish conventions.
Mm-hmm.
But those conventions have a clear line of consent in the sand where everything has to be asked. And I think that has to extend outside to other conventions and other spaces. Unfortunately, it does to other spaces because, like, even in regular convention, well, I don't even want to say regular, even at other conventions, I've seen stuff that was just downright criminal.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of funny. They canceled it, but this Thursday, another fetish convention like that called Journey was supposed to happen at my hotel, but they canceled it for reasons I won't say. But it would have been apt for today's discussion. But it's basically self, but for people of color.
And the thing is, the reason why it's like that though is, and I hate to be like this, but it's the people that go to these places. At Self, because I've witnessed what the people look like at Self and everything like that. They're mostly older, mature people. You won't find anyone. Well, you won't find a lot of people in their 20s and 30s a lot.
They're there, and if they're there, they have the mindset to be there.
the culture is understood.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it comes down to. Unfortunately, with conventions like Dragon Con, MomoCon, stuff like that, like you do get a lot of outsiders that come in, and they don't necessarily care about the culture.
And it all boils down to, and some people want to say, well, it's because they're introverts. Like, no. At a certain age, it all comes down to maturity, and you don't get a pass for being immature.
Because that's fucked up to say that it's introverts that do that.
It's not labeling any group of people specifically that's doing that.
Well, I'm not saying you're saying that, but that's what people say, and it's like
I wouldn't even necessarily call them introverts. They're just predators.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm seeing like dudes, like I was at MomoCon, and we were just walking through the hall, and then there was this two assholes that ran through and slapped some chick on the ass and tried to run off because they thought it was a joke, until some people caught their ass and slammed them to the ground until the security got there. You see, and they had to be like 18, 19 years old, but they was running around giggling like fucking children, not thinking you just sexually assaulted somebody.
Yeah.
And my thing is, why is that such a hard concept for people to understand, to keep your damn hand? Like, if you was in jail and somebody ran up and slapped your ass and ran off, would you like that?
Well, that's the unfortunate thing. A lot of males don't understand sexual assault until you mention prison, or until
they're in a compromising situation.
Exactly, because if a gay guy had done that, then all of a sudden it's an issue.
Exactly.
But that also goes back to, you said they were 18, 19 years old. You wouldn't see those type of people at like Tales of the Cocktail or whatever, or Self, because the demographics are different. And unfortunately, the demographics at a Dragon Con or a MomoCon or a AWA,
it's young to old.
They lean younger, they're less mature.
Yeah.
Some of them are. You have some people that are young that follow the fucking rules.
Yeah.
But even though, but like you said, it's a whole mindset. When some people get into these spaces, especially like these like Dragon Con and MomoCon, whatever, they think everybody is playing with them, and they forget that everybody that you're walking around are fucking grown people, and you don't know their situation. What if you for example, what if you touch somebody who was a recent victim of violence or something like that? You're supposed to respect people's space, and I know that's hard to do when such crowded spaces like that. But the fact that people won't stop, it's a level of narcissism where they think it doesn't matter what other people are doing, because I'm just trying to have fun, and I'm not trying to do it in a mean spirited way. It's not coming from a bad place. Like, yes, it is, because you're not showing empathy towards other people.
Well, young people tend to be less empathetic. They also tend to be self-centered, as well as they think they're invincible. This is why armies recruit them to, fight their wars and shit like that.
And unfortunately, when you put out this proposition of an environment where you get to run around and be free, unfortunately for some people, being free means doing devious shit.
Being a fucking criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to switch it off to our last topic. We want to actually promote what we do at the conventions. We do have a panel that we do at a couple conventions, being MomoCon and Dragon Con.
AWA if they get some fucking get right.
Possibly AWA one day. But we do an anime style convention. We do an anime style panel called Inside the Ass Whooping. Or at Dragon Con, it'll be called Back Alley Beatdown because we want to keep it PG.
Which doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Y'all literally run a panel called Dub Your Own Hentai, but inside the ass whooping is too much.
We'll let them do what they do, and we'll just follow in accordingly. But
you know what would be hilarious if we had called it Inside the Butt Whooping. Then probably would have got in.
Probably would have.
With our luck, they'll cut the end off and it'll just be inside the butt. We'll have a bunch of people at our panels with fucking sheets and jackets over there. Like, when are we gonna get to the butt stuff?
So they can find that itself. So so our panel, like I said, covers mostly anime. Inside the Ass Whooping started on our channel. You probably have noticed if you follow us that we haven't put up anything on YouTube in a while Inside the Ass Whooping related because
YouTube is lame.
YouTube will always take down our content and we will get copyright strikes and we don't want to get our channel completely shut down. So unfortunately, right now the convention is the only space where we're able to do a live live panel of Inside the Ass Whooping.
So if you really like that type of thing that we do, then you need to go to every convention that you go to and yell at them and tell them to get a panel for us so that we can do that at your convention.
As a matter of fact, just watch one of our episodes of Inside the Ass Whooping that hasn't been flagged.
Right.
And I guarantee you,
literally all of them have been flagged, like demonetized and all this stuff, but some of them are able to stay up. But
because they don't want to see the black man make money. See the black man make money off his own content.
So, yeah, that's our story with ITAW, Inside the Ass Whooping. That's what we do with the panels right now. We're trying to do it at New York Comic Con. Maybe they'll get some sense and let us do it up there.
And call it ass whooping.
Yeah.
It's New York. The whole city smells like ass. So if you can't say ass whooping in New York.
When we go to New York, it should be like, hey, yo, B, about that ass whooping, yo. That's what the panel should be called.
Home.
Did I do that right? I got my Timbs on. All right, so anyway,
but
our panel, we actually do have a date and time for it, right?
Yeah, 7 o'clock on Saturday. And
7 p.m. Saturday, August, whatever that Saturday is.
I also signed up for the Black Lightning panel as well.
Yeah, we also do they have smaller fan panels as well. So the TV shows that we review, maybe we'll get in on those panels. We haven't heard word back from those. So like the Black Lightning panel.
We can even sign up.
Yeah, it was probably too full by the time we came around to you. But he's going to try to be on the Black Lightning panel. Last year he did the Luke Cage.
I did Luke Cage, I did Black Lightning, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah, pretty good, small, intimate kind of panels that a lot of people don't show up to, but it's enough people in the crowd to make it home. So yeah, we'll be putting out more word about any other panels that we're able to get on besides Inside the Ass Whooping.
I also want later on, not this conversation, but I want to go into some stuff because I have some real horror stories and funny stories from conventions, as do I'm pretty sure most of you guys too. Like some that involve Bob and Adam.
So we'll save that for another show. Maybe a conventions part 2, convention confessions.
Are we also doing the trivia where we walk around?
Oh yeah, we also as a way of kind of advertising for the panel and advertising for the channel, we also do pop-up trivia where we roll up on people at the cons, ask them if they want to participate in a quick trivia anime battle or pop culture battle, and they face off with a whiteboard, and whoever gets the most answers correct gets some treats, candy. And so that's how we kind of interact with people at the conventions as well. So if you see us walking around, my guy he'll have the ref shirt on. We'll be not too far behind, but we're ready to see some people face off with trivia, and we can catch it on camera. So.
And in the comments or wherever you're watching, if you can guys submit to us some of your con horror stories, and we can convey those on our next time we talk about this, because like I got friends who've seen things, and they friends have seen things too, and it's really sometimes hilarious and sometimes scary what happens in these microcosms. Like I had a friend who got jumped at the convention, but that's because he pulled out the whistle. He sent out a bad signal. Otherwise, we would have been there.
Yeah. So just as a point of, I guess, protection, make sure if you go to these cons, you go in a group.
Roll with a group.
Yeah. That's our last little tip. But until next time, like I said, look forward to some more. Look to our previous con etiquettes and some upcoming con etiquettes on how to behave at these conventions. And check us out next time we do one of these Slander-cast episodes. It's going to be random, so just come back and join us.